now.
Yeah, because I invited some people, but they might not be able to come, and they want the recording to watch it later. Okay,
Don't worry.
nice. Nice to have you here. So let me see. Look
Thank
for
you
my
so much to all the teachers from
PowerPoint.
Ecuador, from Peru, from the group, from MissClauRivera, from ELT Place. Thank you so much. It is a pleasure to have you here. Okay, today we have Miss Celia with this special webinar, Tools and Activities to Promote Interaction in the EFL class. Thank you so much. Okay.
Nice. Okay, thank you, Claudia, for having me this evening. And thanks everybody for being here. I know it's a Friday. Maybe, I don't know, you watch movies on Fridays. I guess I watch movies on Fridays lately. So yeah, the topic today is tools and activities to promote interaction in the EFL class. So what I want to share tonight are some activities. I was thinking about 8 activities so you can use them in your classes. So it's going to be something very practical, and I'm going to ask for your ideas also. So I hope you can share your ideas with me. So why interaction? Why is interaction important? I don't know if this happens to you, but it happens to me all the time in most of my classes. My students do not turn on their cameras. Yes, and this is because of different situations, right? Some of them do not have cameras. Some of them are shy. For example, I have a class at 7 a.m. in the morning. Yes, so I might know why my students do not turn on their cameras. Maybe they are sleepy, they just woke up. Yes, so that's why they might not share their cameras or turn on their cameras. I turn on my cameras at 7 a.m., but I mean, if it is difficult for me, maybe for the students it is more difficult. But the interesting thing with these students that I have at 7 a.m. in the morning is that I see them on the waiting room like since 6:45. They are there waiting for the class. And they wake up very early actually. I asked them like, what time do you wake up? And they told me 5:30, 6 a.m. And I am wow. Yes, and the class starts, of course, at 7 a.m. And these are not adults. Yeah. Amazingly, these are not adults. These are teenagers. They are like from 14, 15, 16 years old. And they wake up very early for their English class. So that's something amazing that happens to me every morning. They are the reason for me to wake up that early. And yeah, and that's why we are always looking for ways, to promote interaction in the class, to know that they are really learning, because sometimes we might not be able to see their faces, but we are able to listen to their voices and to see the activities that they are doing during the class. So that's why tonight I want to share some activities that you can do with your students. Uh, an interaction in the virtual class, as you know, can happen in many ways. You can ask your students to comment, to vote, to collaborate in real time using different tools, um, to interact using the learning management system that you are using at your schools or institutes. So for comments and votes, for example, we can have forums, we have chats, we have the chat box here in Zoom. The students can interact using the chat box. For collaboration real time, we have Google Docs. I love Google Docs, Jamboard, the virtual, the interactive whiteboard, Padlet. So these 3 tools are the ones that I usually use the most. I really like them. And well, learning management systems, we have Facebook, Edmodo, Google Classroom. I also use Microsoft Teams at the institute where I work. And yeah, if you show the students how to interact, they will do it. Yes, and you will get good results. So another important thing that you need to do every time you start a new course actually is to establish the rules, right? To let them know what they can and cannot do during the lesson. So I took this picture from a website. Here is the reference. And yeah, it's important that they know what they can and cannot do. So I recommend this. So then your class will be, you will deliver your class in a good way. And also another idea that I also mentioned, and I always do at the beginning of every time I have a new group of students, especially if they are kids things, I want to know about the devices that they are going to be using. Of course, the first question, we already know the answer for the first question. By now, it is not the first time they are taking an online course. But what I want to know is the device. I want to know if they are taking the class using a cell phone, a laptop, because that will allow me to develop better activities for them, or activities that will adapt to their devices. And an extra question that I also asked my students is if they have a computer or a laptop. Yes, because there are some tools that work better in computers or laptops. So I want to know this information every time I have a new group. And of course, if they are basic, I wrote these questions in Spanish because my students are basic. So if I write it in English, they won't understand. And this is some information that I want to know. I also want to know if they have a microphone, yes, if they have a webcam, yes, and their expectations for the course. And this is important because then you will know if you can have like speaking activities, or if you can ask them to turn on their cameras. So I like knowing this information. That's some important information that I want to know every time I start a new course. Okay, so the first tool that I am sharing with you, and you might know this, you might have used the spin the wheel tool before, but tonight I'm sharing 3 activities that you can do using this tool and this website, because I know there are a lot of websites for playing, spin the wheel. So this website is Wheel of Names. Yes, so I really like this one because it allows you to create an account, to add pictures, and you can do many activities. So let's see. Okay, before I go to the tools, something important and something that is recommended is that you create an account. Yes, so make sure you first create an account here. Yes, so you can go to Wheel of Names. Then I'm going to share the links and everything. Yes, so you go to Wheel of Names and you create an account. To create an account, you can click on Save. Yes, so just click on Save, and this will open a new tab, a new window, and you will be able to create your account. Yes, if you have a Gmail account, you can easily create your account with Gmail. Yes, or just using your regular email, or if you have Twitter, you can use Twitter. So in this opportunity, I created my account using Google. Yes, and now let's go to the website. Let me go to the website. Here it is, Wheel of Names. Let me share the link with you in case you want to follow the steps. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so take a look at this wheel, yes? As I told you before, activity number 1 will be for writing your students' names here and then selecting one of the names. Yes, so that is the regular activity we do. But tonight I'm going to show you other couple of activities that you can do using this tool. So number 1, and option number 1 is that you can customize the wheel. Yes, so if we click on customize, let's see. Let me see if I am sharing the sound. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I'm going to turn off my camera so my computer doesn't get slow, because it gets crazy when my camera is on and I am sharing the screen. So yeah, option number 1 is the sound. Yes, you can select the sound that you like the most. So when the wheel selects a name or selects something that is written on the wheel, you will get the sound. Yes, for example, let's listen to this one. Yeah, so you get an interesting yeah, it's like the music exactly of wheel of names. Exactly, that's correct. Yes, and here, well, you can leave it in 100. That's how I leave it. And allow duplicates, yeah, in case you need to add the names, the same names or the same, I don't know, verb, you just leave it here. Yes, and spin time in seconds, 10 seconds only. Unless you want to spend more time spinning the wheel, you can select the time that is better for you. Yes, and well, maximum number of names visible on the wheel, 500. Yes, yes, Roxana, it is totally free. Yes, it is a free tool, so don't worry. And well, display a hat when there are more than 500 names. Yeah, but I mean, we are not going to use more than 500 names here. So the next thing that we can configure here is after spinning. Yes, so what happens after spinning? So applause, for example. Yes, so once we spin the wheel, we will get a winner. And we can even configure this message. Yes, instead of we have a winner, we can write you got selected or any other expression that you want. Yes, and launch confetti. Yes, yes, and take a look at this one. This is important. Auto remove winner after 5 seconds. Yes, so this option will remove the name of the student after 5 seconds. Yes, so we don't have the same name over and over again. So if you want some names or some information on the wheel to be deleted once it was selected, tick this option. And well, the pop-up message is we have a winner, and we can display the remove button for removing. And the next one is the colors. Yes, we could configure the colors, and they also give us some themes we can use. For example, holidays, Halloween. Yes, and we get the colors of Halloween. And we can select a background color if we want. In this case, I'm gonna leave it in the default color. Yes, because I like the default colors. And another interesting thing that you can add to the wheel is this. You can add an image, a picture, to be placed at the center of the wheel. And you can select the size of the image, yes, or of the picture. And once everything is set up, we click what it says OK. Yes, and then we can spin our wheel. And for example, yeah, so we have the confetti and everything, and we have the name, right? Fatima. And we can ask Fatima a question. Yes, and then we click on remove. So the name is removed from here. So that is the first use. Yes, that is the regular use we might give a wheel. So let me go back to my PowerPoint. Yes, so idea number 1 is use it as a name picker to select some names. Okay. Now, idea number 2. Let me show you the wheel that I created for idea number 2, and I'm going to show you how to create, yes, this wheel. Don't worry. Just give me a second. And let's see. There we go. Yeah, take a look at this wheel that I created. Yes. So in this wheel, what the students are supposed to do is, for example, when they spin the wheel, yeah, if we get this picture, for example, right? The students need to create a sentence. As you can ask your students, okay, everybody, please take a taxi or drive a taxi, share a sentence with me on the chat box. And what you can do is you can configure the chat box here in Zoom. So you are the only one who is going to receive the messages. So you are the only one who is going to see the messages on the chat box. So they don't copy, right? They don't try to steal their friends' ideas. So that's another use that we can give to the wheel. We can add different pictures and then students can create some sentences. Or if you want to add if you want to make your activity a bit more challenging, what you can do is you can ask students to ask each other questions. Yes, and here remember you can add as many pictures as you want. Yes, to add the pictures, and let me see the chat. Okay, to add the pictures, you just need to click here on add image. Yes, add image, and then you will be able to select a picture from your computer. So you need to have the pictures ready in your computer so you can select them. Let me see if I can. I don't know if my computer is showing, but I already had this picture saved on my computer. Yes, and then I select the pictures one by one and I added them to the wheel. Okay. And yeah, that's another activity that you can do using the wheel. And remember that you can customize it, yes, and you can even share it. Then I'm going to share this wheel with you so you can maybe change some things and adapt it and use it for your classes. I will use this wheel for simple pass. Maybe the students can ask questions in simple past or maybe in simple present. Yes, perhaps you can create a wheel related to the routines, maybe. Yes, and the students need to tell you sentences in simple present, or they can ask questions in simple present. Yes, because the idea is that they can practice and interact with each other. So let me see if I can go back to my PowerPoint over here. Okay. Idea number 2 for Padlet, the wheel that I have for idea number 3. And let's go here. Okay, here we go. So take a look at this. Take a look at this. Here, instead of adding pictures or adding names, I added some sentences, some questions, yes, to promote some conversation between the students. So you can use this for a speaking class. And I also added a pizza, yes, because you can add sentences and you can also add images if you want. Yes, I also added a pizza. And if the student gets the pizza, it means that he or she gets an extra point without the need of answering, a question. So let's see, let's spin it. Yes, so for example, question 1, why do you like your best friend? Yes, so why do you like your best friend? And what you can do here is you can actually ask your students to activate their microphones, yes, or you can have your list and you can encourage some of your students to answer this question. Yes, and then you will continue spinning the wheel. so it means that they don't have a question right now, right? And we remove it and yeah, this question, for example, what is your best friend like? Yes, and so this way students can, can interact, can participate, and as someone mentioned here, I don't remember who was it, the music, right? Students really enjoy this music that you can add to the wheel. So let's see, what is your best friend like? And the student will need to answer, yes, and then you can continue with the next question. Okay, let me remove it. And so that is another idea for using this wheel. Yes, and take a look at this. If you have some images, you just can add the images. For example, I'm going to add a phone here. Yes, and the image is added here. Yes, and the interesting thing about this tool is that you can copy this image, for example, and paste it here at the beginning. So you just can copy, Control C, Control V, copy and paste the different images that you have. So I really like this wheel because it allows you to add sentences and also to add images. So, and it's free, as I mentioned before. So this is my idea for as I got these ideas for the questions. I got them from this website. I teslj.org questions. So on this website, you can find conversation questions for different topics. Yes, and the questions are for different levels. Yes, for example, in this opportunity, I selected friends. Yes, and here you have like a lot of questions related to friends. So you can select the ones that are most appropriate for your students' levels. So I really like this page. Yes, you have different topics that you can use if you want to promote some conversation between your students. Oh, I'm not showing the website. Let me see. Yeah, this is the website. Yes. So I don't know if I was showing my screen some minutes ago. So I mentioned that the topic I selected was friends. Yes, and here you can get a lot of different questions related to that topic. Yes, so you can select the questions that are most appropriate for your students' level. Let's see. So let's continue. Okay, idea number 4. I was thinking of some ideas, and maybe you can also use the wheel as writing prompts, yes, to give students ideas about some topics to write about. So let's go to this wheel that I created. Here we go. Okay, so here what I did was I added some writing prompts, and my idea was to tell the students to write a short paragraph about it. Yes, so this is not like a full writing activity, it's just a little activity to encourage the students to write a short paragraph. Yes, so the idea is that the students can write a short paragraph. Yes, so, and you can maybe tell, okay, for example, Claudia, Cesar, Daisy, Irene, Isabel, this spin is for you. I'm going to spin the wheel, and the sentence that you get is going to be for all of you. So all of you need to write about this topic. And you spin the wheel. And Claudia, Cesar, Daisy, Irene, and Isabel need to write about someone they admired. Yes. And then you select another group of students, Isabel, Jose, Judith, Milagros. Now your topic is, let's see. Write about making mistakes. Yes, and these students need to write about making mistakes. So you can also use it as writing prompts. Yes, I would use it if I mean, I would recommend using this as a writing prompt if you don't have like a lot of students. Yes, if you have a lot of students, maybe using another technique or activity will be recommended. Okay, and for getting writing prompts, I was looking for some websites where you can get some writing prompts if you want to work on writing activities in your classes. Here we are. For example, here you on this website, I'm going to share the links later. You can get 365 creative writing prompts, ideas. Here you have all the prompts about food, about dancing, eye contact. So you have a lot of writing prompts that you can use in order to encourage your students to share their writings. Good. So let's see. These are my ideas for a wheel of names. So I would like to know. Yeah, don't worry. I will send links for all the websites that I'm sharing. So do not worry about that. I would like to know if you have any other ideas. Do you have any other ideas for using wheel of names? I would like to listen to you maybe, or to read to your ideas. I'm going to give you 1 minute to think of other ideas. In which other way can you use wheel of names? Remember that here you can add pictures, you can add music, you can add sentences. So ideas.
Hi, Celia. Good afternoon.
Hi,
Good
Isabel.
evening. Hi. Maybe if you want to, for the speaking time, to choose the topic of speaking.
Yeah, also, right? We can put some topics related to the speaking, and yeah, that would be a good idea.
Yeah, you spin the wheel, and then a topic, for example, talk about how was your day yesterday, or what did you do yesterday? You see, or where did you go on your last vacation?
Exactly, right? Using the simple past in this opportunity. That's correct. Okay, thank you. Irene, right? Irene, was that Irene? Or
No, Isabel.
Isabel, right?
Yeah.
Isabel, yes. Isabel Hurtado. Thanks for sharing your idea. Roxana says, for basic purposes, I would use it like a bingo. Bingo, yeah, you can prepare a bingo using the wheel. That would be an interesting idea. You can add pictures of different products, and a student say the tastes. Yes, for science. Yeah, you can adapt a wheel of names for science. For icebreakers. Yeah, questions, right? It's an icebreaker. Yeah, so look at all of the ideas that you have for using this tool. So apparently it looks simple, but look at the power it has. Hilda says you can write verbs in the simple form, and students need to say the verb in the past tense and make up a sentence. Yeah, that's another great idea. Maybe for practicing the pronunciation of regular verbs in simple past, perhaps. Nice idea. Okay, so thank you, Hilda, Milagros, Roxana. Nice, great ideas. Good. So the second tool I am talking today, and I am also sharing some ideas about things that you can do, is Padlet. Yes, I know a lot of you are using Padlet right now, so I just want to give you a couple of more ideas so you can use these ideas in your lesson. And yeah, well, Padlet, remember Padlet is free, yes, but it has some limitations. It only allows you to create three Padlet boards at a time. Yes, and you can just erase and create new ones, yes, to stay under the limit. Yes, and of course the paid version, I guess, is 20 soles. It has now increased. Before it was like 10 soles, I guess. Yes, but now it's 20 soles. That is approximately $7 if you are not living in Peru. But I guess the free version is enough to start. Yes, and remember that you can always delete and then create more Padlets. Or if you have a project in which the students need to create something on Padlet, you can ask your students to create their own Padlet accounts, yes, so they don't consume your limit. So that would be another option. You can ask your students, okay, Pedro, as you're going to present your project in Padlet or using Padlet, please create an account, and they can create their accounts and there won't be any problem. Okay, so idea number one is to practice comparative and superlatives. Yes, so comparative and superlatives using the map. So let's go to Padlet. So the idea here is that you can use it to review and practice. Yes, so you can do it once you have presented the adjective to them, and once you have presented also the grammar. Yes, so here the students can put into practice what you just taught them. So let me go to Padlet and let me show you how to use this one. Okay, here is Padlet. Yeah, so here is a Padlet, right? And to create a Padlet, just make a Padlet. Let me see if it allows me to, wow, it allows me to create another one. I have like 5 Padlets already. Okay, so the one that we are using is the map. Okay, there we have the map. And let's wait some seconds, and there we go. Yes. So for this, number one, we need to change the name. So let's, to change the name, the title, just click here. Yes, and we can say writing about different cities or comparing, let's say, comparing cities around, the world, right? Comparing cities around the world. That is going to be the title. Yes. And superlative adjectives, maybe the icon. And let's put a world. I saw a plane, could be a plane as we're talking about different cities, or a map. Take a look at this. I have selected the map. So now my icon is a map. And over here, very important, the address. Yes, you can change this address so it looks better when you share with your students. So for example, here I can write cities too, because I guess I have cities already. So if you see, if you select this one, if you write this one, cities, then the URL that you get to share with your students will be different. Yes, so you won't have all these numbers and letters. Instead of this, you will have the word cities number 2. Yes, and let's see, another thing is the map style, the appearance. I really like using the video game appearance, this one, video game. Yes, I don't know, but for me it looks very interesting, maybe for the students too. Yes, and then I return. And Attribution, display author name above each post. You can turn it on, but this will only work if your students are logged into their accounts. Yes, if they don't have an account, don't worry about it. Yes, and comments. Yes, you can also allow comments. So maybe if a student writes, Lima is more beautiful than Piura, maybe another student can add a comment and say, I don't agree with you. I think that Piura is more beautiful than Lima. Yes, so it will be up to you. Yes, I will turn it on. Yes, and the reactions. Yes, I like the reactions. Students can like, students can vote, can put stars and great. The one that I recommend to avoid, some misunderstandings is the like posts. Yes, I recommend this one. Because then if you put the votes, some students can put like a finger down, yes, or maybe can give 1 star and the other student will feel sad because he got 1 star or something like that. Yes, for reactions, I recommend likes. And depending on your students, I mean, you know your students, you can previously approve their comments and the things that they add into the Padlet. Yes, so in this case, I won't require approval. That's fine. Yes, and once you're ready, you just click on save. Okay, then we close it. Yes, and the idea here and what you need to explain to your students is that they can look for a city maybe in Peru. So you can tell them you are going to work with the cities that are only in Peru. Yes, so maybe cities in Latin America. Yes, and what they need to do is they need to click on the different cities and write a sentence using a comparative or a superlative. Yes, like Lima is the most beautiful city. Yes, or Piura is the hottest city in Peru, for example, yes, or in the north of Peru. And to share this Padlet with your students, you need to go here, yes, to the share option. And let's see. And then you need to change the privacy. You need to make sure that your students can edit the Padlet, yes? So option number 1 that I recommend is secret. Yes, so it will be hidden from the public, but your students will have access to the Padlet because you will share the link with them, yes? So I recommend this setting, secret. And also here we have another setting that is visitor permissions. Yes, and in this opportunity, we want our students to be able to write. Yes, so they can write, they can add comments here, yes, but they cannot edit. Yes, that's very important because if you allow your students to edit, they will be able to delete what their friends added. Yes, so be careful with that, just can't write. And that's it. Then you go back and here you get the link, right? Copy link to clipboard. And we close it. So what your students are supposed to do, let me go to another window here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so what your students are supposed to do here is they need to look for different cities, yes, or places in Peru or in Latin America, for example, Trujillo, yes? Then the students will click on the little pencil that is over here. Yeah, here we have the little pencil. And here it says write a name of a city, of a place, or just drag and drop. So I'm going to drag this icon and drop it on Trujillo. And let's see. So here is Trujillo. Yes, and here my students are supposed to write, yes, a sentence using comparatives or superlatives. In this case, they can say Trujillo is I don't know, cleaner than Piura, for example. It's just for the example. Yes, I don't know if you live in Trujillo, if you consider it to be cleaner than Piura or not, but that's one of the sentences that students can write. Yes, and apart from that, the students, remember, they can look for pictures. Yes, so they can go to the web and they can write Trujillo, enter, and go to images. And here they have some pictures of Trujillo. Let me see if that is Trujillo. Trujillo, Peru, maybe. There we are. Yes, so they select the picture and then the picture will appear here. Yes, and their friends can, remember, add comments. Yes, they can add comments, or they can vote. So that's something that they can do here. Yes, I will share this one with you to see if you can add some sentences. Yes, try adding some comparatives and superlatives.
Buenas tardes a todos. Bueno, la actividad de la...
I just send the link, so try to click on the link and add your sentence. Yes, maybe about the city where you live. Yes, if you live in another country that is not Peru, yeah, also look for your city on the map. So I will wait 1 minute, just 1 minute, to see if you can add some ideas here on the map. Let me see. Okay, I see some people adding some ideas. Rio de Janeiro. There is a Trujillo in Rio de Janeiro. Okay. Yes, as the students start adding ideas on the map, you will see these icons over here. Just let me see. Yeah. Anyone else? Does anyone else wants to add any other idea? Let me. Oh, here. Oh, okay. Here we have some things. Guamaniles, Callao. Okay, you just add in the names of your cities. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, but you can add information. Yes, so that's the idea. And yeah, you can do this activity with your students. And maybe if you don't want them to practice comparative and superlatives, maybe you can tell them to look for some information about that city, about that place, and to write it over here. Claudia, there is a microphone issue.
Yes, there is now. It is okay.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Good. Yes, so that's the idea. Yes, that's the idea, that your students can interact. Callao is the most important port in Peru. Nice. Yes, and oops, I was forgetting something that is very important here. As you won't be able to see who wrote this, you need to tell your students to write their names next to their sentence. Yes, so it would be a good idea that every time a student adds a sentence, I just select whatever place. So for example, they add information here, and you can ask them to write their names here. Yes, so you can recognize who was the author of that sentence. Yes, or who created that sentence. So yeah, I'm going to delete this. Yes, so that's one of the many activities that you can do here using Padlet. How can you add the map on Padlet? Jimmy, I didn't add a map on Padlet. Let me show you. To use the map is like a feature that Padlet has. Yeah, so when you go here to make a Padlet, when you select make a Padlet, Oops, it doesn't allow me to create more Padlets because just let me erase the Padlets that I have. Yeah, remember that the free account only gives you 3, but it gave me like 5. I don't know why. But yeah, let's see. 6273. Delete. Yeah. Let me see. Oh, here. Okay. Yes, I am here right now. On incognito. There we go. Yeah, so to use the map of Padlet, you just click on make a Padlet, and then you select the map option. Yes, and here you have the map. Yes, and you can edit it, you can customize it according to your needs. Trudy says that you cannot visualize your post. Let's see.
Thank you, Cecilia. Thank you so much.
Okay, Jimmy. You're welcome. So yeah, look at this. They added some information. Rio de Janeiro. Here is your post, Trudy. Rio de Janeiro is more beautiful than Sao Paulo. And Trudy also added a picture. Yeah, so that's, as I was saying, one of the many activities that you can do using Padlet. So let's take a look at another activity. Where am I? Just give me a second. Because my computer gets crazy sometimes. Okay. Open here. Okay, idea number 2. Yes, idea number 2 is an activity called Let's Travel. Yes, and for this activity, again, you need to go where it says create a Padlet, but in this opportunity, you are going to select this shelf option. Yes, you're going to select this option. And what you will do, let me go to my Padlet. Here it is. Yeah. Make a Padlet, remember. And in this opportunity, I'm going to select shelf. Okay. And here, what you need to do is you need to have the list of your students ready. Yes. So here the title is going to be Let's Travel. Yes. And maybe travel vocabulary. And you can customize the link. Remember, you can write travel and next. Yes. And here what you need to do is you need to double click, yes, to add a column. And here you need to write the name of your students and a city or a place, yes, where they are going to travel. Yes, and you save it. And then you start adding more names and again, more cities or places where they are going to be traveling to. Yes. And the students, what they will do is they will add some information related to that place or that city that they are going to travel. Yeah, so let me show you in the PowerPoint the idea of this. Yes, and in order to maybe to give some ideas to your students about what to write, yes, you can prompt them with some questions. You can tell them, where will you travel? Okay, so where will you travel? They already have the name because you gave them the names of the city. Yes. Now you can tell your students, think about how much money will you need, yes, and how many days will you stay in that place, and where will you stay, and what will you do And maybe you can ask them more questions. Yes, so you can give them like some ideas to put on their column of the Padlet. Yes, and then it. So for example, Javi can say, okay, I will, or Santi can say, I will travel to Madrid next month and I will go by train and I will stay in a hotel, which is 75 euros per night. And I will stay 4 days. And so the idea is that here they can write some information and then they can present it. Yes, and for this, remember we are using the shelf option in Padlet. So that's another activity that you can do using Padlet in your classes. Good. And idea number 3, and we're going to do, we're going to work on this one together, so you can see what it looks like. So idea number 3 is called a collaborative story. Yes, and for this one, we are going to be using the stream. So for this, remember you need the stream and you also need to have some questions to add on the stream. Yes, in this case, I have this one that is a love story. So you can ask these questions to the students. A holiday story, you can ask these questions. So let's see what it looks like. Let's go to Padlet one more time. Remember that you can change the settings on Padlet here. And not here, on these 3 little dots, you can click on change format. Yes, change format. And in this case, I'm going to change all this to the stream. Okay. So there we go. Yes, nothing appears right now. So take a look at this. The title for this is going to be, let's say, a holiday story. Yes. So that's going to be my title. I can add some pictures, remember? Okay, let's use this one. Yes, and what we need to do here is we need to add more questions. Yes, so let me add other questions. The questions that I have here on my PowerPoint that are, let's see. Okay. Oh no, I need to write it. I cannot copy and paste. So who was the young girl? As I add another question. Where did she go on holiday? Yeah, so where did she travel? Then we have another question that is going to be, who did she go with? I think we continue adding more questions. What things did she take with her? Or let's say, where did she stay? Yes, and you will, of course, continue adding more questions, yes, according to what you want your students to tell you. Yes, so the idea here is that then the students can answer to these questions and you can mix the answers that they give you to create different stories. Yes, but for this, it's very, very important that you configure the Padlet in this way. As for example, the wallpaper, let's see, can be, let's see, yeah, this one can work, or maybe, yeah, let's use this one. Yes, I'm going to use this as my wallpaper. Travel, or we can name it holiday. Yes. We can change the font here. And also here, if you're planning to do an activity like this, very important, and this is for you, yes, it will make your life simpler. where it says new post position, select last. Yes, so the questions that you add appear under the picture. Yes, normally by default it says first. Yes, so the questions that you add appear here. Yes, so remember this one, last. Yes, so the questions appear over here. And now, allow comments. Yes. Yes, so look at this. This setting is very important. It's kind of different to the other one. Okay, so remember, new post position, last. Comments, yes. Reactions, yeah, like, maybe. Require approval, no. Okay, so that's important about it. Yes, and then we click on save.
Ahí hay, pues, encima de la... No importa.
There is a microphone. Okay, there we go. Good. Yes, so then we close it. And at the moment that we're going to share, here is also very, very important that you pay attention. When you share it, I normally change the privacy setting and I keep it secret. Yes, and then I select can read. Yes, can read. Yes, not can write, just can read. And let's see what happens. Okay, so can read, and then we click on save. And of course, then you save, you share this link with your students. Let me show it to you. Let me go to my other screen here. Yes, so here what is going to happen, as I selected the option in which the students cannot edit, they cannot add more posts here. Yes, they cannot add more things, more information over here on the Padlet, but they can comment. Yes, they can answer to my questions, because what I want them to do is to answer these questions. Yes, I don't want them to add more things. So that setting is very, very important. Yes. So I will repeat this because this is vital for this activity. Yes, remember, number one, these are the settings. So you can configure the wallpaper, the link name, and everything. But here is important for this activity to work that you click where it says new post position, last. Yes, comments, yes. Okay, so here these two settings are the most important ones. And then when you share the link, yes, if we click on share, you change the privacy, yes, and number one, you keep it secret, and visitor permissions can read, yes, because if you select can write or can edit, they can add more information that is not needed. Yes, can read, in this case, is enough, because what we want them to do is to comment. Yes, so can read will be enough. So let's go back and let me share this link with you. Okay, let me share this one with you so maybe you can add some ideas. Yes. So please, if you can access to my Padlet, answer these questions. Yes, answer these 4 questions. So you need to imagine that there was a girl who's planning her holidays, and you need to imagine who was the young girl. Was it your cousin? Was it your friend? Was it a famous singer? Yes, where did she go? Yeah, here is a mistake. Where did, yes, because it's in past. Where did she go on holiday? Yes, so tell me, where did she go? Did she travel to the beach? I don't know, to Spain? Where did she go? Who did she go with? With her friends, with her boyfriend, with her family? Yes, and where did she stay? At a hotel? I don't know. She went camping on a campsite. Okay. Okay, so someone is saying maybe she was a celebrity. Okay, she was a celebrity. Yes, I want more ideas, add more ideas with her husband. Okay, so a celebrity traveled with her husband. What else? In a hotel. Okay, so they stay in a hotel. She went to Cancun. Okay, the girl was famous. And she went to the Bahamas, to Acapulco. With you. Yeah, who wrote that? With me. Nice. She stayed in a hotel. Good. Okay, nice. Oh, Elmer. Elmer said she went with me. Nice. Yes, so that's the idea. The idea is that your students can start oh, but it was the girl who went with someone. Maybe she was with her manager. Okay. Yes, so the idea is that your students can start adding different comments, yes, on the Padlet, different ideas, and then you can create different stories. Yes. Oops, another microphone. Yeah. So you can start like mixing what student number 1 said with what student number 2 said. So you will start creating maybe like a funny story with all of your students. Yeah, so at the end, all of your students will collaborate with ideas. She was your sister, right? Your sister. And again, here, what I forgot, I'm sorry about that, is that you should tell your students, for example, maybe she was a celebrity, and here the student needs to write his or her name. Yes, for example, here, Rosemary de la Cruz, it has her name because she has an account. Yes. If you want your student, if you want the names of your students to show up here, to be shown here, you can ask them to create a Padlet account. Yes, and they can log in with their accounts. So you will be able to see their names, and you won't need to ask them to write their names in parentheses. Yes, but if you don't have much time for teaching your students how to create a Padlet account, or maybe they don't have an email, you know, or they don't know how to create a Padlet account, just tell them to write their idea and then in parentheses, write their names. Okay, so that's another activity that you can do using Padlet. That's creating a collaborative story. And for this, you can use different questions, just like this one, or holiday for holiday story. This one was a love story. Nice. And I know that you, no, the small pencil that I am using is a tool here in Zoom. So that's the tool that, the Zoom tool. Yes. Nice. So yeah, thanks for participating on this activity, for the people who participated. Yeah, you wrote a lot of ideas. You wrote, she stayed in a luxury hotel, in an expensive hotel, her friend's house, in a private island. Nice. Very nice ideas. Yeah, and you can, I don't know, you can activate your creativity and maybe ask your students different questions. And the students will also become very creative with this kind of activities. Good. Yeah, so these are the 8 activities that I wanted to share with you tonight. So I hope that you can use them in your classes. I hope that you can put them into practice. And yeah, well, you can visit my blog, or you can visit my Facebook fan page, ELT Place. I'm going to share a link with you where I posted the links and also the questions for the Padlet activity. Let me share the link with you. What is this? Oh, and I also posted a free webinar that I have on Vimeo. So if you watch it till the end, you will get a free certificate from ELT Place. the link to the webinar is also on this post. Yes, so on this post, you can get all the activities and also watch a webinar with more. How can I see? Okay, Margot, she has a question. Yeah, if you have any questions, please ask me. I was about to forget the questions. Yeah, Margot, you can actually not see the names of your students. Yes, what you can tell them, you have two options for this. You can tell them to write their comments. Yes, so the students write their comments. And you can tell them to put in parentheses their names. Yes, so you can identify the names of your students. Another option is that you can tell your students to create a Padlet account. Yes, like these people over here. Well, I don't have any more. Yes, and that way you will be able to see your students' name and last name. Yes, so that's the only two ways you will be able to identify your students. Yes, I don't know if you have any other question. Yes. Oh, thank you, Marlene from Chile. What time is it in Chile, Marlene? Yes, I wanted to make this webinar practical with practical activities for you so you can use them in your online lessons. Yeah, so if you have any other question, I'm here. Yes, any question related to Padlet or to Wheel of Names? Oh, Marlene, it's 20 past 10. Wow, it's late in Chile. Thanks for being here that late. Nice. Well, here is 9:20, 20 past 9. Yes, so remember that on my website, you will find the links, yes, and also the questions if you need them. So yeah, I don't see any other questions. So if, yeah, Pablo, I will send you the link right now. Yes, so I will send you the link where you will find the activities, yes. And okay, Claudia, I don't know if you have any other question.
No, I think it was really clear. Thank you so much, Celia, for this presentation. It was a really nice webinar. Thank you so much. I think that all of us learned a little bit more about these 8 activities that you show us, okay? They were really, I think that they were really meaningful for us as English teachers. They were really interactive and dynamic. Thank you so much, Celia, for your participation. Thank you so much for this opportunity about, as you mentioned, ELT Plays. Thank you so much. Okay, you can search on the web and you could find, in this case, to Miss Celia. Okay, the fan page of her, okay, is ELT Plays. So if you want to know more about her, you could look for her on the website, okay? And please don't forget, please, to follow us and to give it to us a like. Thank you so much, MissClauRivera. We still continue growing up. Thank you so much to my team who always support me. Thank you so much to Saul and Silvia for always support me, okay? I'm going to mention this in Spanish because it is important. Gracias a Silvia y a Saúl también por todo su apoyo. Se los agradezco. También a Miss Celia, thank you so much for your support in these webinars. It is going to be 4 webinars, as you notice, okay? This is the second one. Thank you, Celia. It was a pleasure, as usual, to learn more things about you and about your job in this case. They were really interactive. I really like your presentations. Thank you so much, all of you. We have teacher from Ecuador, from Peru. We have a student from Federico Villarreal University, okay, from UTP University. Thank you so much in this case for being here with us. Okay, thank you so much. So it was a pleasure. And thank you to all the friends from Peru Tech, okay, from Neta Peru Tech. Rosana is here. I'm so sorry, I don't forget her. Thank you so much, Rosana, for always support us, okay? This Monday, I'm gonna be with you, okay?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
So see you on Monday, Claudia.
See you, my friends. Thank you so much for your presentation. I think that was really, really meaningful for us. We adore you. Okay, thank you so much, Celia. It was a great presentation. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
all
everybody.
of you. Have a nice
good
weekend.
night.
Okay.
See you in another opportunity.
Thank you so much, Celia. It was a pleasure. Okay, thank you so much. Have a nice weekend. Thank you to all of you. Thank you to Neta Peru friends. Thank you to my friends from Ecuador. Okay, thank you to my Peruvian English teachers who always help us. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much to all the students, the English students who always support us. Thank you, Marisol. Thank you for your cooperation. Next week, we are going to have a special, okay, guest from Ecuador, okay? She's gonna be a speaker, Miss Tania Cajamarca. She's going to talk very interactive tools, okay? She's gonna help us with that, okay? So I hope to see you that this third webinar, okay? Thank you so much. Have a nice weekend. And don't forget to follow us and to give it to us a like to still growing up. Thank you. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you so much.
Thank you, MissClauRivera. It was a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here with you also. Thank you so much for your webinars. Are very interesting. Yes, I hope you can send us the video recording to learn more about these tools.
Of course. Yes, I will talk to the team because we're trying to prepare that. We're going to transform the video in another format. But thank you so much. Thank you so much, my dear Vanessa, to be with us. Thank you, Jan. Thank you, my friend, too.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Dear
you, my
Teacher Claudia.
friend.
I like your puppet. Thank
It
you.
is a pleasure always to see you. Thank you to you. Okay, thank you for being here.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Miss Vanessa. Thank you, Marisol. Thank you, Rosie. Yes,
Happy
it is
Mother's Day
always
for
a
everybody.
pleasure. Okay, it is always a pleasure. Have a nice weekend. Okay, stay safe. Thank you, Rosana. Thank you,
for
Teresa.
sharing. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Have a nice Mother's Day.
Okay.
Greetings from Chachapoyas, Amazonas.
Thank you so much. I am really excited when you mentioned that. Thank you so much. It is a pleasure, of course. Okay, thank you so much.
Roman Abarca from Piura.
Roman, thank you so much. You are from Piura. I hope to see you this Monday. I'm going to be with Neta Peru Tech at 7 p.m. I think. I'm not sure. I'm going to share the flyer. Okay, thank you so much. I hope to see you there. We're going to talk about songs. Okay, how to maximize our lessons with English songs. Okay, so I hope to see you there. I'm going to be the speaker this Monday. So let's see. Thank you so much. Okay. Of course, yes, in the case of Miss Celia, bye-bye. Don't forget, please, to watch the recorded with Miss Celia, okay? She shared that. Bye-bye. Have a nice day, okay? Bye.